A sofa bed, of course, also needs to be used, not just bought, not just used as a sofa, used for sleeping. And to sleep, what do? One has to put the sheets on the mattress. And what happens? I mean, if you use it once in a while. Putting on and taking off the sheets is not a complicated and inconvenient job. If you use it every day, absolutely you shouldn't leave the sheets inside the mechanism. It becomes at least inconvenient to undo it and do it again in the morning and evening. So what did we do to solve this problem? We invented some linens of the undersheet, oversheet, just more or less a whole kit, a whole program of linens, born and developed and patented to be left inside the sofa bed even when you close it without risking of ruining the mechanism of the sofa bed and without risking tearing, ruining the sheets. And now I'll show you what they look like. Here is the underside of the sheet, for example. It doesn't have that whole part of the corners that goes under the mattress, precise corners, without any extra material. Extra. Important, the last corner, if it was stitched like the others, it wouldn't stick on the last corner. And here we have a label to remind us of that. There is an elastic band, and at this point we can safely finish dressing our sofa. On the side part, there is an elastic band that keeps our sheet absolutely underneath even when we fold it in two. After the bottom part of the sheet, we also have the top one, which is just as important. In fact, it is even more important because in the top one, usually we have corners to tuck in. We, on the other hand, in the upper part, we made angles similar to those on the bottom part, but softer because, of course, it has to be more cozy. And even here, with this shortness, we limited the amount of the cotton, the amount of fabric on the sleeping surface. It is, of course, important. Again, the development has been complete. It is, of course, important to have the right size for our sofa. So the usual sofas, the beds in the house are all the 160. The sheets are all developed for the 160, the width we have, done for each measurement on the sheet. So 140, 160, 180, 120, and so on. Lastly, all the pillows fit. But we consider the assumption that you are not in summer but in winter, and maybe we like to have a comforter instead of a sheet. The same argument applies. We need to have a comforter and a duvet cover adequate without anything extra, for which corners, as with the sheet, will not be there. The total width will not be such that the comforter goes to the floor. Everything will have to be perfectly proportioned for the sofa bed. And most importantly, even the comforter itself, it will have to be that weight, that size, the thickness, and that filling be appropriate to be enclosed in the sofa, because just as with the sheet, I need to be able to enclose also our comforter. By folding in this way, I am sure that I can close the couch again with all its interior, our pillowcases.